Hello and welcome to JK It's Not About You. I'm Jen Rouse.
And I'm Kelly Mirko, and we're your hosts. We're new empty nesters, and we're here to talk about what the next chapter looks like.
For so long, we were taxi drivers,
Domestic engineers, chefs,
tutors, cheerleaders,
and everything else that goes along with being a parent.
No days off, no paid vacation, and very limited time to pursue our own passions. It just wasn't about us.
It really wasn't. Join us on this new endeavor as we find passions in all things empty nesting. The little birdies have flown the coop and they're living their best lives, and now it's our turn. We're sweating through our 50s trying to figure it all out.
From resetting on marriage, navigating divorce, dating at 50, we're here to reclaim our calendars, our bodies, and our newly found identities in this confusing yet exciting new phase of life.
So grab your glass of wine or beverage of choice, your cozy sweats, and join us as we unpack all things real in our 50s. Okay, welcome back, everyone.
JK, it's not about you.
It's not about
Here
you.
we are.
Yay! So excited to be in house again.
I know.
Because we're going to have a little break.
I know, we are.
I know.
I know, we're going to.
Road tripping.
Road tripping again. I'm heading to LA.
Yeah.
And
I'll pop in.
you're going to come out there, which I'm really excited about.
I know. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be nice to be on the beach. It'll be really nice
Yes.
to be on the beach.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I thought, we talk a little bit about, I've been struggling recently.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
And I think, you only hear about the things that are going well, and, we do a lot of that. And listen, I have nothing really to complain about except that I've been feeling really... for the first time ever, I've always lived here and this is home, and for the first time ever, I've been thinking about relocating. And I know, I shared with you the other day a little bit about it, but kind of started sharing with a friend of ours that we know together, who's going through it too.
Yeah.
Bouncing these ideas back and forth about the emptiness that you feel when your kids are leaving, and it it's happening. And she said this too. She said, I knew it was coming, just like you knew it was coming, and here it is upon you, and all of a sudden it just hits you like a ton of bricks, Yeah,
it's just you're not, even though things are going to happen. Sometimes you're just still never ready. You're
until
not ready.
It really hits
happens.
you,
Yeah.
And then coupled
understand.
with, aging parents and some struggles I'm going through still there. And, just really thinking, kind of tossing around okay, is this where I really want to be? Do I want to go live somewhere else for a while? Do I want to uproot and live abroad? Do I want to, and so I was talking to her and she was like, well, Jen, it's so weird because this was the place we raised our kids. Everything reminds us of what we did with our kids.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
And I didn't even really think about that. But she said it's really hard because, I walk these walks and I see the little kids on their bikes and they're, and I'm driving around too thinking, oh my gosh, this is where we went to the pool and this is where we schools and she said, I've been thinking about it too. And I said, okay. And she said, but what's so weird? She said, after my dad died, I just am taking a pause to really think about, okay, well, where is that?
Right.
And so that's kind of where I am. Okay, it seems idyllic to go back to the home to, for a second until you're living in it. So I'm going to take the time to really see how I feel when I'm there. And she was saying, but we have to find a new purpose.
Exactly.
And it's not just for me. What I found too is that, for the longest time, it was a relationship that I was in. That was going to be the next phase. That's not the case. So finding my tribe again and finding,
finding what brings you joy on a daily basis. Purpose is a perfect word, and I think that is common, not talked about enough, but common for people. I was going to say our age, but I would say more empty nesters. It's more common than not, and I think that, like, you and our friend and people in your types of situations that don't have a significant other, it kind of opens up your world even in a different way, because, like,
I'm not tied here.
you're not tied.
Yeah.
I'm not that I am tied.
You are. You are.
I am tied.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we have a business here, and
You're tied.
We're committed
Yeah.
here still.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't
be
always
forever.
be exactly.
Right.
But I think that just like, and I just think it's so cool because, and I say to Melissa, not all the time, but often, like, you can explore the world now in your 20s and, hopefully, settle down and do the kid thing in your 30s, and experience it again when you're my age.
Yeah.
And so it's living the same way. And my advice to her was, go to Charleston. Go live in Charleston. The worst case scenario is you don't like it and you leave.
Come back. Right.
And you come back here, or you're like, you know what? I was toying between Charleston and Chicago, and now I want to go check out this bustling city.
Yes.
Whatever it may be. Like, there's no wrong.
Yes.
So it's more, what I said to her, it's more fear-based, right?
Right.
It's more fear-based. So I think it's exciting, you know, and I think that there are some cool places that you'd love to go spend some time. And it doesn't have to be like a 6-month or a year commitment. It could be a month. Let's go here for a month and check it out. Let's go here. Let's go here. And then you're like, you know what? I really liked, point A. I'm going to go spend a little more time there. All those things are okay. It's just, it's scary.
And it's wrapping your head around, like, the unknown.
Yeah.
And I feel like so much of my life now is so unknown.
I know.
And I think that is like, I've always had like a next step. I've never thought like beyond, this chapter.
I know, but how I look at it is, this is your next step.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, and maybe it's not a planned step, maybe we didn't realize it was a step, that now it is, here it is. So let's, like, do a little dance. Let's, like, figure it out. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, give the advice that we would give our kids, like, go explore.
Yeah.
Go have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, you're not selling your home. You're going to, you still have a child in the state. You're going to be here.
Yeah.
It's okay to, like, go.
Have adventures.
Yeah.
I need some adventures.
Yeah. So, I think the next step could be very exciting and uneasy in some ways, and
I mean, it is. It's like very like, it is just the unknown. It's trying to control everything. It's trying to know, the outcome of everything. And I think I didn't realize how many women our age are going through this exact thing.
Yeah.
And you do feel like, I mean, when our friend told us about, like, it's this closing of this chapter of where we raised our kids and, what we did. And it doesn't have to be, my place anymore. It really doesn't.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be the end.
No.
It's just like another new beginning, another new phase. Just like we went through so many with our kids. This is our next phase, your next phase.
Yes.
And just like all of our kids right now, all 4 of them are trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So are we. Okay?
I know, it's so funny. You like have all this advice for them and I see it so clearly, but when it comes to my own, I'm like, okay, I know I'm feeling restless. I know I'm feeling like I gotta do some things.
Right. I also feel like, things are not going to fall in our lap. And I also feel that there's a lot to get involved with and a lot of great people where we are.
Yes, she mentioned that too. And she went and did like a homeless lunch.
Yep.
and fed them. And she said, it was so great because it was it was through her church. You don't have to do it through a church, but it was interesting. This whole discussion we had for like an hour.
Yeah.
And she said, you have to have, and I do feel this really big need to like give back in some way, like find my like not just with my purpose, like I love this and the podcast and doing, I love this and talking to a community of women that might share our content or
Sure.
not, like, or find it interesting, but I want to give back in a charitable way, and I need to find what that organization would be. And she was saying how good it felt to, here it is, her church, her community, and she still met people she didn't know.
Of course.
And I think that's sort of, where I'm feeling lost, and I need to figure out those steps and that strategy to do that and just try different things. And,
Yes. I mean, we're lucky we have the Peace House, which is a great asset. And, we're very lucky to have that in our community in Park City. And I know that like places like that are always looking for volunteers, and there's so many websites, and I mean, I've been trying to get involved in my community. I love staying over there,
Yeah.
and, like being a part of where I live, I do. And so, I mean, like, that's what I've been trying to do, and I think that it's kind of nice to find people like Jody, and I find them over there
Right.
who already are involved.
Yeah.
So I'm not, I'm looking things up and signing up for my own things, but people
You're
are
also
inviting
getting led,
me.
and you're getting led.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's helpful.
Yeah.
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 It is. So it's, making me not feel like the only one or always the new one, when I'm like going with a friend.
Well, it's just a very new thing.
It is. But we're so good at it. Like, it's so natural for us to hop behind a line and serve people food, or to read to little kids, or, Melissa, twice a week, she goes to the hospital and holds babies for 2 hours twice a week.
Yeah.
And she, volunteers obviously to do that. And she's just like, that makes her feel good giving back to her community.
Good for her.
And it's 4 hours a week, and she feels great about it, and she should. I mean, it's amazing. She just calls me, Mommy, I can't believe these little kids, these babies. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I mean, I'm like, I want to go hold some babies,
It's true. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my, I said to her, I'm like, I wonder if Park City Hospital or, Heber Hospital.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to stay up here.
Yeah.
I feel like we need help too.
Yeah. It's true.
So if I can, I will. But yes, I think getting involved is helpful for our minds.
I do, and
For sure.
And a spiritual thing. I've never been a real religious person, but I've been really trying to find gravitate towards spirituality in my own way, like you do with yoga. Like I want those kinds of people around me now. Like I want really the lady that reached out to me that you gave her. I'm so
Renee.
grateful. I'm so grateful because I can't wait to meet her, and I'm gravitating towards these people that are trying to influence, the world in a positive way. Like I love that we have conversations and just talk about when we're struggling and when,
Yes. And
this is a hard stage, and I think it's very real to feel it. And it's like, we prepared for it. You want our kids off, and I'm so grateful they're living their lives and doing their thing, and but now finding our next thing, I want to find my great love,
Yeah.
I've never had I want my great love story,
and
I want to travel, and I want to I really think it's coming,
No. I think yes, but I think that you and I both getting in bed at 7:00 and calling it a night and saying, why don't we meet people?
Well, that's what she said too. She said, I can't complain when I'm sitting on my couch.
which
Right.
is so true.
Right.
You know,
It's actually putting myself.
you know,
Well, I had to like piece together my heart for right.
a very 100%. No. I get all that, but I
Yes.
mean, in addition to that,
Yes.
you know, I mean, I remember crying in Sun Valley because I felt like
And then you went right to that
because
coffee
Amy
shop.
kicked my ass and said, you know what? I'm done listening to you boo-hoo, Kelly. She
Yeah.
goes, what are you going to do about it? Go home and sit in your house again?
Yeah.
She goes, go. What are you going to do? And I did. And I went out and I got a job as a barista working at
That's awesome.
the best, fastest, the
I
most, just
still
the
love
whole
that coffee
town was
shop.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
Sun Valley had like 2,000 people. So it was so great. I knew the whole town in like a month. It was awesome. But it led me to, you know, Jack and to, you know, some other bigger things that I really enjoyed doing while I was there. And I don't know. I just think like you have to.
You made some great friends.
I made some great friends. You just have to put yourself out there.
I do. And so she did.
I mean,
she did
both
bring
of us.
awareness to me in that regard.
Yeah.
And I think I
She's
need
great.
to. Yeah, she did. She was like, you need to think about this, and you know,
It's true.
and
a
you
lot to
know, and I
process.
think like meeting people. Like I thought it would be really fun this summer to tackle some things that you and I haven't done. Like I was sharing with Aiden, you know, like let's
Like pickleball kind of things?
pickleball, golf, tennis. Like I've really since this 75 hard, I mean all I do is exercise. So like
All I do. That's all I do.
and I don't even go to a gym anymore.
Yeah. And
That's how isolated I am. So it's
See,
like
that's what I do go to the gym. That's all I do is work
Yes.
out in a gym.
And that-
besides walking.
and that's helpful,
It,
you know?
it is very helpful. Yes. I think we should start with one activity. I'd be very happy with the pickleball.
I think it'd be fun.
I think it would be fun.
And I mean, that's how we're going to meet people our age and, you know.
Yeah, and just get involved in these. I'll tell you, but there's a place
tournaments?
going on. Oh, yeah, no, but it's like fun,
Okay,
you know?
okay.
I mean,
as long as there's cocktails after.
or during. Yes, exactly. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah.
agree. I just think we got to get out of our house.
Yes, we do.
And
And I see that, you know.
and during the summer, like we both don't mind driving.
No.
So we need to be flexible because we don't have as much up here as they do maybe down in the city.
Yep.
Right. So let's just keep all of that in mind. But
So we will be doing episodes on finding my purpose.
and I think finding my purpose too.
Yes.
You know, I still am connected here because we have a business here, but my kids are gone,
Yeah.
and that part of my life is moved out.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for the love of my life, but I am looking for other ways to fulfill myself.
For sure.
Because I'm not like doing laundry and making lunches, and I don't have a person in my house that I'm,
Catering
helping.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catering to.
That's why I think it'll be good. You can be my like wing woman.
Yeah. I know. We'll have so much fun.
You can interview all the men
Yeah.
that are going to line up.
Get the stanchion
I'm
out.
just kidding.
Get the stanchion out.
I did that.
I love it.
Anyway.
Well, we're gonna do a remote podcast for our next episode.
Yes, we are. And one of the things that we...
One of the next couple of ones, I think.
Yes, we're going to probably the next few, I would think. One out in California, because
Yes.
you're going to come out. And we wanted to talk about just some of the things we found with aging about food. And you're such a foodie. And you're such a good cook. And I think I need a kick in the ass there, too. I'm not even cooking anymore.
Well,
Like,
I wasn't
I
wasn't either.
So you went through your stage. I think
Yes.
you were ahead of me in this.
Well, yes, because Melissa left earlier.
And Elias left.
Okay, so yeah, I was empty before you.
That's why.
Okay.
But I feel like you kind of went through this, like the chips and salsa situation.
Oh, like why even cook? I have plenty here. I mean, fucking A, right?
I'm living on like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Absolutely. Granola and yogurt, whatever. John literally is in the morning, what did you have for dinner last night? And I'm like, why are you? He's like, I don't see anything see anything that has been eaten. And I'm like, oh, well, did you check? He goes, I checked the garbage. I'm like, you checked the garbage? He's
That's
like,
crazy.
Which is crazy because he's not that person, at all. And I'm like, oh, I had granola and yogurt, and I sprinkled some protein powder on top of it. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, you know what? He's not saying it without saying it, but he's saying it without saying it. I'm like, I need to get involved in this food situation. Like, this is going to be a long haul of me eating fucking yogurt and granola. So I, within a certain time period of 75 hard, decided to get involved with this protein situation that everyone has been talking about. I will say in my 30s and my 40s, cardio was my friend. Mm-hmm. I could do anything I wanted and go run. I can go run 5 days a week, 5 miles a day, and do whatever I wanted.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
Not so much anymore. And I'm like, how can that even be true? Like, what are you talking about, people? Like, I just lived my own life, gaining weight and not listening and asking and just very frustrated. Like, I'm doing the work, but nothing's happening kind of situation. Which, so I just embraced what people were saying, which was like more fiber, more protein, less cardio, lift weights, and, basically strength and walking.
I've been walking a lot.
Yes. So walking, because you're still getting your heart rate up, but it's not getting to the level of being in like you're running in cardio. Right. You're getting a different cardio workout, less of.
Yeah.
And so I just your phone listens to you, and all of a sudden I'm getting all these cottage cheese recipes, and I've been making them.
Yeah.
They're not all great, and I'm perfecting
you love
some.
Cottage cheese.
But I love cottage cheese. You know it, right? So like I'm like, oh my God. This is so crazy.
You found recipes.
So one of our next episodes,
we're gonna cook.
We're gonna do a little cottage cheese cooking,
okay,
and be like totally honest about it. And I think that besides these, I think it would be fun just to have every now and then like a little cooking episode.
Segment. I like that because I learn from you too.
It's fun, and I think another thing that I've really embraced is the air fryer.
Okay.
The air
I got
fryer,
one, but I don't use it really.
Yeah, so I have these little liners, and we'll show you guys in the video. But it's basically like a coffee filter for your air fryer. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it.
Yeah.
But it makes it just easy to clean and disposable. But you can do a lot of great dishes in there.
And small plates.
So I can do a chicken breast and some carrots.
Oh, you gotta show
for
me.
myself. And not enough to heat up an oven and make a big batch or whatever. So we'll get into that. But yes,
I would really like for you to show me.
It's a lot of fun. Okay. I like read about it. I watch some videos, and then I just mess
really
around.
Good about like trying new recipes.
Yeah,
I'm sort of like stick to my lane.
I get bored.
Yeah, I know.
That's my problem.
But that'll be a good thing for me to do.
Yeah. So if you have any recipes you would like me to try to find a healthier version of, I might be your gal.
I know. And adding protein.
Yes. So protein and fiber.
Okay.
And I try to stay away from like refined carbs and sugars and all that kind of stuff. But moderation is everything.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Like that See's candy, like almond cluster I had last night.
Yum.
That was part of the moderation of the day. You got to allow that to happen.
Ice cream.
See, that's okay.
I love ice cream.
I can make you cottage cheese ice cream.
God.
It is so good. I've never had it, but everyone says it's so good.
I'm willing to try.
Okay.
If you're willing to jump in the ice water, I'm willing to try.
Seriously, we're going to do that. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay, you guys stay tuned. I'm so excited about this.
All right, stay tuned for our protein-packed fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yes, and next week I will be on the road.
You'll be on the road. So
we will
do some remote taping, some LA taping.
Yes.
Do a little travel taping.
It'll be fun.
Stay tuned. Can't wait to share with you.
And again, just share your comments. Let us know if there's anything we want to address, and if you guys felt anything, like can give me any kind of advice on how to kick me in the ass.
Anyone. We
kick me in the ass.
Give you some advice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of JK, It's Not About You.
You can write in and ask your questions on our show's Instagram page at JK, It's Not About You, and we will address your questions on the next week's episode.
If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family.
Share the fun with all those that can benefit from a good laugh or cry with us.
Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we would greatly appreciate you.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.